Okay, what's up, everybody? It's 888 for short. Welcome to Channel 8, first edition. Um, I'm so happy and grateful to have with us Your Spiritual Mermaid. Is that what you want to go by? Or
Yes, your spiritual mermaid, Elizabeth, your spiritual mermaid.
first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I've been having trouble trying to get people to do this with me. I really wanted to get this channel started, so I'm truly grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I love it. I love talking about spirituality, so I'm always down for stuff like this.
Awesome. I hope you're doing well this morning. How's your morning going?
It's good. I actually did a 30-minute ancestor meditation with my patrons.
Mhm.
So I'm just coming off of that. And it was beautiful. I didn't expect it to go that long, but I kind of just like was doing affirmations and we were just doing all kinds of work and it was beautiful. So my morning is going really well. Yeah. What about yours? How are you doing?
I'm grateful. I know I woke up this morning truly grateful for this opportunity. I'm trying to jump on every opportunity the universe is throwing my way to walk in my purpose. So I just woke up grateful. I did my meditation and I was listening to Janae and just kind of tapping in this morning, just ready for this opportunity.
It was a beautiful Sunday. Amen.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in. I got about 8 questions.
Okay.
Um, I just want to rock with you. I just want to like I said, I'm creating this platform because I want like a positive space for people who are just starting out to learn how to tap into their own power. And I also want to make a platform for our people to promote their talents and their gifts and everything they're doing. So I'm gonna jump right in, and I just want you to tell us what your spiritual mermaid represents to you
Yeah.
and who that is.
Ooh, okay. So yes. So ever since I was a little kid, like toddler, my favorite movie was your Little Mermaid. Like I've always been obsessed with the ocean. My mom actually got a huge mermaid tattoo to symbolize me because like it's been since I was could talk. And so naturally, when I started going on social media in like 2012, all of my at names were Mermaid Queen, Mermaid this, Mermaid that. And so when I transitioned to wanting to build a spiritual page, it just made sense that Your Spiritual Mermaid would be my at. And I love it because I do consider myself a water spirit. I like love the ocean. I love the river. I love lakes. Like if you see my page, I have a lot of like nature shots, like with the water. I identify really with water spirits and that those kind of things. But as far as like who that person is, like who I've grown into, my name's Elizabeth. I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My dad is Trinidadian. My mom is white and Native American. And about when I was in middle school, she started taking us to Buddhist temple instead of church. So we would go every week. We'd do hour meditations with the monks. They'd come around with like a little ruler and make sure our back was straight and things. And like, so it was great. And then she would send me off to these healing retreats during the summer when school wasn't in and we weren't allowed to bring our phones. And we would do walking meditations, sitting meditations, everything. And we could only eat like vegan stuff. And it was a great experience. So I grew up doing a lot of those kind of things. And then I would say I've always grown up in a spiritual house, but it wasn't until I was like 21, 22, I really hit rock bottom. I completely hit rock bottom. I got into some shit that I did not need to get into. I was doing a lot of drugs. I was doing a lot of shit like that. And spirit really broke me down and was like, okay, now, like we're not doing this, okay? Like, I was getting my degree. I have a degree in integrative neuroscience. I was getting my degree, but towards the end of me getting that degree, it was like I was just thrown off my path. And so I went through a period where I was broken down. I was homeless for a while. I was like really trying to figure it out. And I started doing gratitude exercises every day. I started with these sticky notes and I would just post them on my wall or post them wherever I was and like these things that I was grateful for because I was finding it so hard to like move on and like be happy. And so I started very small, thankful for my breath, thankful for my body, thankful for the little things we take for granted every day. And from there, I just was going on YouTube, looking up more things, and one thing led to another. Then I started taking notes, and I have my spiritual notebook I've had for a couple of years where it's just pages and pages of notes on different things. And so it just kind of blossomed from there. My mom has been selling crystals for like a long time, but then I started really getting interested into the crystals. And of course she was happy, so she started giving me mad crystals for free. And like, I started studying. So I spent about a year just really in study mode, not doing readings, not doing anything like that. I was just studying all the concepts that I could, law of attraction, whatever the case may be, reading a whole bunch of books. And then one day I was really attracted to angel cards. For some reason, tarot cards was never, I don't do tarot. I was never interested in tarot cards. I was like, what are these angel cards? Like, what are the archangels? Like, I want to learn more about that. Mm-hmm. I started doing meditations to invoke the archangels, and it was like an overwhelming, like I would do these meditations and I would feel and like almost see in my mind's eye when they would come in, and it's just like from floor to ceiling, just like these huge presences. And I just kept studying the angels, and I was like, okay, I want to get an archangel deck now. And so then I got the archangel deck, and then I sat on live one day. I was like, I want to like share this with people because I love this. And I sat on live one day and did free readings for like 3.5 hours using the deck. And when I was looking at the angel cards, like different things would come to me that it was just like a basic card. Like it would be like, you need to eat better. But then I would hear like, you need to eat better because this was going on. You need to eat this specific thing. You need to do this. And I would just like hear, and I would say it. And I would surprise myself of how like on point it was with the people who I was talking to. So from then, I was doing donation-based readings for a long time. I was doing like hour readings for $5. Like I was just doing it. And then after a while, Spirit was like, what the hell are you doing? like why are we giving out so much energy and not getting anything in return? So then I started becoming more serious about my business. And here we are. I'm in graduate school right now. I'm getting my master's in biomedical sciences, and I'm doing my readings and things on the side. But honestly, I might just leave school because the stuff with my readings and spiritual is just like, it's taking off so much. I know this is my path. So I'm really trying to find a way to integrate both things. So yeah, that's kind of like a backstory of where I'm at.
You went through like 4 or 5 of my questions already.
Oh.
That's awesome though. Like it flows so naturally. So that's beautiful. Like, dang, I was going to say, what gave you that confidence to get on live that one day? Because, a lot of people, they feel they have their gift. They're doing it with, their friends or two, but they want to, what's it take to start doing it on a business level and doing it, in front of people on live and different social media and
it's funny. I got that question a couple weeks ago, and it's not even something that I think about. But now that I've been asked that question multiple times and I meditate on it, I have always been like, when I was growing up, I was always a YouTube girl. I loved watching YouTube. I wanted to make a YouTube channel at one point, but I didn't have nothing to talk about, so I never did. So I always tried to like make some videos, like what I was wearing or whatever, because I was really into fashion and stuff like that for a while. So filming myself was never something that was like scary for me. Now I know that a lot of people they feel weird about the confidence with the lives, especially because lives are weird. Like people come, people go. You can have nobody in there and then you talk to yourself. Right. But honestly, it's just like I started building these really, really deep connections with people on live to a point where there are people who I've worked with for years who, even if you've never gotten a reading from me, you got a live reading from me, and every time I'm on live, you're like on top of it. Like it's having genuine connections with people, having genuine connections with your followers, responding to people, really making those connections to where it feels like a very genuine relationship. And being real, like not going on there and trying to be anything that you're not, like really presenting yourself. Like I'm goofy, I'm silly, I like to laugh, I'm joking all the time, like I'm sarcastic, like I just present that and people resonate with genuine energy. And I also know that my gifts are very special. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that the people who are meant to be there are going to receive it for a specific reason. So I would say that's really how. Also, just for anyone who's building an Instagram, having some kind of like set schedule of like, okay, I want to do meditations on this day, or I want to do this, and giving something for people to look forward to and letting people know what you're doing, that really creates that genuine relationship as well if you're trying to build more of an engagement.
I
So
feel
that's
it's
what I would say.
also important for people to know, if you just walk in your purpose, everything else will be taken care of. I think people get so caught up in, like you were saying, who's going to be watching, who's going to be following, how is this and this. But, that keeps you from doing anything. If you start worrying about all those different things, that'll keep you stagnant from even starting it, like it did with me with this channel. I've had this idea for a long time. So I definitely understand that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, your purpose will flow.
Yes.
You don't have to think about it twice. Now, you might have a little bit of confidence, like problems, but you don't have to think about it twice. When you just really get into the flow state, it's going to just happen. So exactly what you said.
Awesome. I know a lot of people have a issue with like promoting their business or their talents among their friends and their families. How did that go with you?
Ooh, it's
Like,
still going. I do. It's hard because of the work that I do. Not everyone is comfortable with promoting it. I definitely, at the beginning of this journey, I lost a lot of friends because they were Christian or whatever. And it's not that I'm not, I read the Bible every day. Like, my ancestors love to hear a psalm, okay? They love to hear a psalm, so I'm always reading the Bible. But, like, it was a little hard. Honestly, I let people show themselves. If you choose to repost me, if you choose to promote me, that says a lot about you without me even having to ask. If you don't, then I see where you stand, and that's it. And at the end of the day, if you ask Spirit to take people out of your life who don't need to be there, Spirit's going to do that. So you can't even stress about that. You can't even stress, because some people are going to be with you forever, even if they're not spiritual. Oh, yeah, I'm a reposter because that's my bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They're going to show who they are. So you don't even need to worry about that. Just focus on building your genuine connections, focus on your purpose, and focus on why you're here to begin with. That, and then everything else will fall in a line. So, yeah.
This goes along the same lines, kind of, but how do you deal with, like, quote unquote trolls? Because there's always people on social media that's going, like, no, you were not right on this. No, how do you deal with that?
I have a rule, and this is also just like the Baton Rouge in me. Like, I don't argue on the internet.
Right.
You're not going to catch me arguing on the internet. You're not going to catch me going back and forth. That's something that I choose not to do. And I feel like I use the internet. I don't let the internet use me. So the more energy I put into, like, fueling negative shit, is just, I'm letting the internet use me. I'm not doing that shit. So I just personally have a rule where I just don't respond. I don't respond. I don't acknowledge. Now, if there's some things where there's maybe a question where it could be very well, like, you maybe worded it wrong or something, then I'll respond, and I'll just be confident and polite as I respond. Like, someone the other day commented and was like, how did you even learn all this stuff? Like, how do you know any of this? And I was like, I've been studying for X amount of years. I have my community, which teaches me every day. I go to events in New Orleans where, I'm learning every day. So that's how
by yourself. I mean, it's all inside of you. So.
Exactly. But I would say on Twitter, that's probably the place where you get the most trolls. Mute and block. Like, I don't care. I'll block somebody. Like, I don't care. Some people, they make it their life purpose to disagree. It don't matter what it is.
And that shows us something's going on with them and their self and their internal situation they have.
Exactly.
How do you separate someone who's trolling and someone who's, like, maybe just seeking more information? Because I also see that on Twitter too, where people just dismiss people as trolls when they're really just trying to, get more information.
I don't want to be all whoopty and just say Spirit tells me, but that's really what it is. I can sense the energy.
Right.
I can sense the energy, and like I'll say something. Actually, the other day, like, I said something on Twitter about your gut health, and really make sure you're taking probiotics, because that really helps your mental health as well. And somebody was like, that's never worked for me, da-da-da. And you would seem that that's a troll, but I responded and I was like, oh, did you try this? Like, did you try this? And we actually had a good conversation, you know? So you can just really sense someone's energy, and don't take everything personally, because people are a lot more self-centered than we realize, which is why we take things personally, because we are inherently a little bit more self-centered. So you just have to read the energy, you know, and if you feel called to respond, then of course respond. If something is just pinching your ego, then maybe take a step back and maybe revisit and choose what you want to do after that. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, my rule of thumb is, if someone is trying to troll, if someone is trying to argue, just don't. Because you don't want to engage in that kind of energy, because that's just going to bring you down, you know? So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to be different for everyone, but, you know, that's a great example on how to handle it. Just keep it in spirit. Also, how do you balance your everyday life and your business and, you know, the social media, and not getting too caught up in this, not get too caught up in that?
It's been really hard. I'm not even gonna lie, especially because I'm in grad school. A lot of times I'll just go into lab and just do my work on spiritual and business. A lot of times, which I know is bad, but how I manage it, honestly, is by making my days as full and as intentional as possible. I try to wake up as early as possible. In a perfect world, I'll be waking up with the sun. And that really makes your days full. And then doing that intentionally will also just fuel your energy, because you're rising with the sun, right? So doing that, and then, you know, wake up at 5, then doing my meditations, and then I always post usually in the mornings of my tweets and like some nature videos and things that I've taken. And just be intentional with everything. Plan it out. Plan your week out. I used to do readings every day. Now I do readings on a limited amount of days, because I know I have to study. I know I have to take things out for myself. And as far as like my business and my personal life, I'm not even gonna lie. It gets pretty difficult, because a lot of people, because they see me as a more spiritual person, a lot of people want to talk to me about their stuff, and it gets overwhelming because I'm doing readings all day. On top of the fact you want to come into me, it's like I need a second for myself. So really establishing those boundaries and having friends who know you and know you for who you are and can sense when you need space is very important. And being able to establish boundaries with the people who cannot sense you on that level. And, you know, I thank God that I do have friends who knew me years before I was spiritual, and they actually transitioned to spirituality with me. So it's like we're moving together, and they understand me and they see me for what I am. But boundaries, using your time intentionally, and just balance. You know, there's going to be some days where you wake up and you ask spirit, what do I need to do today? And spirit's going to say, take care of your damn self. That's all you need to do. So you just got to ask, you got to be in flow, and you have to be intentional. That's what I would say.
That's dope. This is kind of go piggyback off that last question. It's like, how do you use your discernment in when a person's trying to be your friend for who you are, and trying to be your friend because they know, oh, she's gonna tell me the good advice. She's gonna know something's coming before I know it. Like, how do you choose the people in your life?
That's a really hard question. That's a really complex question. So I definitely have encountered this a lot. A lot. And I think that what's coming into mind right now is the phrase that I said about using the internet and not letting the internet use you. So in that aspect, how I use Twitter and Instagram, it is very post and go. I don't try to stay on there too long. I don't try to be on whatever. Now I'll scroll, like look for funny shit on Twitter all day. Like I love doing that. It's hilarious. Twitter's hilarious. But I don't try to really be fully present in Twitter, in the app. You know, I'm just over here using it and posting and going. So with that being said, I feel like a lot of people see my things as more planned and like post and go, rather than really like I don't vent online, like I don't do things like that, so they don't feel like the energy is welcome. So I honestly don't. I get a couple people who really try to come in my DMs and be my friend, but I don't get that many people who do that anymore. But for the people who come, Boundaries, or some I like to say when I sense the energy, something I like to say is ask spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm not gonna tell you anything. Oh sis, what should I do? Oh sis, ask spirit. That's the end of my dialogue over here, because one is true. You should be asking spirit and using your own discernment with a lot of these questions you come to me with. And number two, it is protecting myself and my energy, because
Right.
I can't be in that parasitic relationship. And I have, and a couple of times I have. It's hard because I love people, and I see people for what they are, but I cannot be doing this work 24/7 and not have a single minute for me.
Right.
I can't.
You always have to put yourself first. I mean, that's what I want people to understand. It's like, I hate when people find spiritual leaders and they hang on every word. It's like we're here to help you tap into who you are and give yourself that power. And you have to have that own discernment, or you're draining everyone around you without you even knowing.
Exactly. I think people cling to spiritualists, to different methods, whether it be crystals or whatever, and they cling to other things without being in touch with their own spirit. And that's where you go wrong, because then you will go off on a tangent here, a tangent there. Meanwhile, spirit wants you to stay straight. You have to be able to listen to your own discernment. And at the end of the day, none of this shit matters.
Absolutely.
Except yourself. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I agree with you.
Now tell us about your services and everything you offer.
My services. So right now I do readings. I do channeled readings. They're mostly, so what we do is we sit, we meditate, we center ourselves together. And this is usually when I will get a lot of the messages. I'll play my singing bowl and I'll get a lot of specific messages, whether that be about your body, your family, future, past, whatever. And then we will clarify with cards. So those are I like to call them angel readings, channeled readings. I do those. I also do Patreon. That's a really big platform that I'm on. I'm very active on there. We do lives, we do Zooms, I do videos almost, every week I do videos. So that's another service that you can tap into with me. And I have my website, yourspiritualmermaid.com, and I do sell oils when spirit is pushing me to make something. I'll do something, but I don't do it like every day, but I'll do it maybe like once in a blue moon. So make sure you could catch it. But yeah, so that's mostly what I do.
I see you also have a podcast, Spirit Speaks.
Yes. Okay. I didn't know if I should mention that or not. Yes. So I do have a little podcast. Now, I haven't posted on there in a couple months because of everything with COVID and everything. But that is coming back soon. But
I see what it says, but I'm gonna let you talk.
I talk about anything that comes to my mind. I'm a Gemini stellium, so I just be every 2 seconds. But I've talked about sex magic.
Yeah.
I've talked about, we're going to talk about herbalism. I'm planning my podcast with another hoodoo practitioner, and we're going to talk about herbal medicine. But I do have a podcast, Spirit Speaks. I do have a couple YouTube videos. I'm not really on YouTube as much anymore. But yes, I also talked about spirituality and veganism, which is a very interesting topic, and I have a lot of conflicting views on that, so it was interesting to talk about it. But yeah, so yeah, I have Spirit Speaks, I have my readings, I have my Patreon, and of course, Your Spiritual Mermaid on all platforms. So yeah.
Awesome. Again, I just want to thank you because, like I said, I couldn't find anyone that wanted to do this with me at first, and also because you're letting people behind the veil. Some people just see the success and they don't understand everything that goes with it, and that you're still a person on your spiritual journey, that you're still trying to balance yourself, that you're still trying to protect your energy. People don't understand that, and that's so great to see. That's all I have. Is there anything you want to talk about? Give them your Twitter and all your links and everything again. I'm going to post them on the video.
Okay. Yeah, my Twitter is Aqua Spirit with 3 I's. So Aqua SPIRIIIT, or Your Spiritual Mermaid is also my handle. And then on Instagram is Your Spiritual Mermaid. My website is Your Spiritual Mermaid, and Patreon is Your Spiritual Mermaid. And the podcast, of course, is Spirit Speaks, which is coming back soon.
Okay, and I found that on Spotify, so yeah.
Yeah, it's on all platforms. It's on all platforms. So
Awesome.
yes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm grateful. I hope we could keep building and find something else to do on this spiritual journey together. I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.